This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Salo's Glory. It was written by Glynn, Owen, Barrass, and it's available from Stygian Fox. Our keeper for arcane lore is Troy Weeldreyer, and this is episode 2. Our recap will be given by Joe Bardalis as his character, Captain Tamayo. It's a hard one to pronounce. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Joe?
Keep it together, Jacqueline. Keep it together. Captain Jacqueline Tamayo. Mission log. Stardate. Well, whenever I actually record this, I'm really just rehearsing this in my head right now because I'm trying to keep it together. I'm aware that Mr. Pinheiro is holding on to me, restraining me, but I can barely hear him. He's yelling at me, but he sounds like he's miles away. Captain's log. So we find ourselves the first human beings, the furthest out in our solar system, the first human beings who've ever gone out this far, or so we thought. You see, as we were approaching the outer Oort cloud, we came upon a distress signal. A distress signal out in the middle of nowhere where no one has been before. Our navigator, Gertrude Balmer, she played it for me. It was a continuous loop, about 2 minutes, 21 seconds. It was overlaid by this very strange whistling, piping sound. I couldn't listen to it for more than a few seconds without feeling nauseous. And from that point on, we just looked at the sound waves. I just couldn't look at it. I gathered together my finest people, my best officers. Our pilot, my first officer, Mr. Pinheiro. Our chief scientist, Dr. Bruno. Our command chief engineer, Ernst Jan. A science specialist in astrophysics, Alejandro Navate. And our ship's doctor and resident biologist, Dr. Pam Lopez. We met in one of the conference rooms to discuss what this meant. We received we did have a directive when we defined a distress signal that we are required to mission changes to investigate and find the source of the signal. So it was coming from a planetoid not far away. So we approached it. As we got there, we discovered there was another ship in orbit. The signal was coming from the surface, but it was a ship, the exact same make as our ship. It was completely dead. There was no lights, none of the artificial habitat cylinders were rotating. Completely dead in space. As we got closer, we were shocked to discover that this ship had the exact same name as ours. Our ship, the Trifina. Apparently there was another mission out here before us that we were in. We decided that we would go and investigate the ship first before we went down to the planet's surface to check out the distress signal. When we were interrupted in our meeting by Dr. Botha and his wife, Dr. Diacampa, Tanya. He came barging in. He's also a member of the board of directors of our parent company, Galilee Heavy Industries, demanding to know what was going on, even as we were just discovering what was going on. demanding to be demanding reports at all times, demanding to be part of the mission. His wife graciously was able to calm him down, and we were able to convince him that we need to go over to the ship first to make sure it's secure and safe from any hazards before we could have anyone going aboard. We immediately put a team together, my same top team from this meeting. We went over in our shuttle, the Persis, to the other ship where we docked and began our exploration of what was happening. Everyone was at their best. We were able to determine quickly that the chief was able to determine quickly that we couldn't restore power because there was a remote lockout by the original captain, Captain Hokel. He apparently from a distance, perhaps from the surface, locked out the ship. So we were unable to get the power going. The other half of my team, Dr. Jan and Dr. Navate, they tried to get life support and other things working and get the computer access, but they couldn't because they couldn't reach the area of the ship to get things going because the bulkheads had come down and the atmosphere where the access was blown out. So there was no way in. Having come to this pass where there was nothing we can do, we decided to go back to our Trafena and regroup and decided we would get our team together to take the shuttle down to the planet's surface. This time we would take Dr. Botha. He is a meteorologist. I'm still not convinced. He claimed to know nothing about this other Trifina or a prior mission, but I don't believe a word he says. I think his wife, even though she tries to calm him down, I feel they're doing a good cop, bad cop. I don't know, but they know something he's not saying. Well, we're taking them with us down to the planet, a hostile, unexplored planetoid with freezing temperatures and about 1/150th of the gravity of Earth. But we're going to go down to see where this signal is coming. When we arrived, after some difficult zero-G maneuvers to get to the source, we discovered the shuttle from the other Trafina. Mercifully, this one was not named Persis. It was named Hellas. The Hellas. It was completely destroyed and upside down. We entered the shuttle to Dr. Navate graciously stayed behind in our shuttle with Dr. Botha and his wife to keep an eye on them, because I don't think any of us trust them. The rest of us, proceeded to the shuttle. We boarded. We began to access the systems to find out what happened. We were greeted by the decapitated corpse of the captain. Yes, the captain, a man I knew in the academy and I hadn't heard from or seen in many years. Apparently, he was the captain of this first mission. We found his decapitated corpse when we entered the shelter. They began to work on trying to get the systems back up, and Mr. Pinheiro and I went further down to the cockpit to see what we could find. To our great horror, when we opened the doors of the cockpit, we were greeted by the floating, decapitated head of the prior captain. My friend, a person I knew and looked up to. But that was only the beginning. Because in the corner of the cockpit, we were greeted by the sight of an alien creature of some sort. We don't know, plant, animal, some combo of both. But it was a giant purple cylinder. Something, it was not a humanoid shape. It had reddish tentacles coming out of it. It looked like its head may have been decapitated, but it was also dead. So once again, another directive. Yeah, we discovered one corpse on the prior ship. The directives come into play, constantly in play, and now Directive 9 is in play because we discovered this life form of something we don't know, and we have to keep it together, Jacqueline. Keep it together, Jacqueline. Together.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, I believe Dr. Bruno is in the cockpit. Did you roll for sanity last time?
I think I did, but I can roll again if it's necessary because
No,
this
if you've
area.
already lost, you're good. 1d6 if you haven't. And you failed it. I'm pretty sure you failed it. Okay. So we start with you there. What is everyone doing?
um, I will call over my analog, Dr. Lopez. Have you seen anything similar to this in your studies or expertise?
You're asking me?
Yeah, the only biologist.
I mean, it's you know, it's bizarre. Um, I can only speculate as to what the various appendages are for on this thing. Um, it looks almost like a sea animal, don't you think? I'll do some analysis of it. Uh, I'll try to take some samples. Realize that it's extremely tough and hard to take any kind of samples,
Mhm.
but I will get some pieces off of it and have a look at it.
Okay.
Um,
And Dr. Lopez, did you do a sanity roll for seeing it last time?
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was shocked, but I wasn't hurt.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Am I with the captain and I are with Bruno and Lopez, or should I say Lopez is with?
Well, the captain had run out of the cockpit. I believe you're currently
Yeah,
restraining.
I'm trying to keep him from running off the planet.
At what point, how long will Jacqueline be in this situation where she's completely lost it and sort of trying to get away, but trying to hold her sanity? How long till she can return to some normalcy?
We'll say 10 minutes. It may take, Dr. Lopez administering some type of sedative or something through your exosuit. I'm not sure if that's feasible.
Yeah,
Or could
I
be.
don't know if that's a good idea.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. What are you doing, Engineer Jan?
Well, being in the back of the ship, was checking on the, like the engine reactor status and everything. I'm guessing all of that's just like in shutdown mode, but there's no signs of any like major damage because we didn't detect any radiation or anything like that. So, um, yeah, I guess the shuttle does have like a small cargo bay, right?
Yes. Yeah. It would be identical to yours.
Okay. On the way back to everybody, I'm gonna stop and peek in there and see what's going on.
Okay. You don't find anything really of note in there. Go ahead and make a spot hidden roll.
Okay. One question about it.
Yeah.
This probably wouldn't need a spot hidden roll, but it is like machine. It's just typical machinery. Are there any cargo lifters in here?
No, there's not, but make a spot hidden roll.
Spot hidden. 91 out of 55. That is a fail. So.
Okay. No, you don't see that. We'll just say that there is enough room to have put 6 cargo loaders in this cargo hold. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess um would there be any kind of automated like manifest or anything of things being loaded from one ship to another? Um or
The computer system, well, go ahead. So are you headed up to the cockpit area?
I
Because
mean
that would be where. Yeah.
Yeah. If I need to head up to the cockpit area,
Uh,
that'll be yeah. I'll
yeah,
kind of
you would need to head up to that area because
okay.
the ship is essentially off. There are some command consoles that are barely functioning at
Okay.
the front of in the bridge.
Well, everyone's the rear of the ship looks fine. No major problems back there. The cargo bay is mostly empty. The reactor is in shutdown mode. Everything is safe. If much less eventful than this chaos you have up front.
Would someone have to have
We're out
put it
here.
into shutdown mode?
Oh, the ship
Say
would have
that
done it on
again,
its own.
Dr. Lopez. What was that?
I said, did someone would have had to have shut down the ship though, right?
From what you can tell, and the engineer can point this out, it was most likely because of the impact. Is why like the ship is like flipped upside down. Like there's
Okay.
really like there is like quite a bit of damage to the hull and the ship itself. You could try to turn on the ship again if you so choose.
Safety redundancies, dead man's switch, that sort of thing. But I think we should leave it off. There could be secondary damage I might not have been able to diagnose with a brief look over of the system.
We might be able to lever it back right side up.
Question for the GM, Troy. Does the shuttle have a black box like in present times? So
Telemetry.
can we
Yeah.
access the last moments of this vessel before anything happens?
Yeah, make a systems roll, please. There
Yeah.
are some command consoles that are on, or again, barely functioning up at in the bridge.
Um, that's a 90 out of 52.
Okay. You're having some difficulty accessing the logs and black box information. Would anyone like to assist Dr. Bruno in this matter?
I will help you find the information you're looking for. See what we can find. Yeah, I'll. Um, is that going to give him another roll, or should I just take a roll at it?
Go ahead and make another roll. Yeah. With advantage.
Oh, me. Okay.
No, I'm sorry, engineering.
I mean, yeah, I've got
both of
a
you.
70 at it. I'm pretty good.
Great.
So,
Okay.
and that's a base success, but a success nonetheless.
Okay, cool. So, I believe Pilot Pinheiro had slaved the computer system to your guys's intranet, I guess, for lack of a better word. So you hear something crackle on in your suit. It's a voice, and the voice says, "My name is Nicholas Holzel, commander of the space vessel Trifina. We are all dead or dying now. Some of us, something in between. The secondary pilot and the others. Why did they turn on us? The mind is a labyrinth. The only thing that helped me break free from the Minotaur. I feel it right here beside me, tearing through my memories, my motor functions. Once it has learned the path, I am crashing the ship's shuttle before it takes full control. Death is better." And then it cuts out. And that's the information that you can gather before the
Well,
system.
Captain Tamayo, your counterpart, seems to have met a suicidal end.
I'm listening to it again. I'm coming down. I'm just trying to get my bearings because I'm coming out of this. And I think the first thing that she's going to say is, it sounds like it might have been some kind of mutiny situation, and I might not have It sounds like Hosel was losing it. All right. Directive
Oxygen
9.
deprivation?
Directive 9. We need to secure that thing that's in there, that alien thing. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need options for how we're going to get that aboard the Perseus, because we are going to have to take that corpse thing back to
Do we have a big enough body bag for this thing?
I don't know how we're going to do it.
There's plenty of room in the cargo bay.
It's getting it from this ship to the Perseus from this shuttle.
Oh, I suspect that the group of us could almost lift the entire shuttle.
Do we know if any
Gravity.
of those suits, the cargo maneuvering suits, did any of those that were missing? Do we know if they're here in the cargo bay or anywhere?
They're not in here. I suspect whatever site that they brought this thing from is where they are.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What, Doc?
This makes no sense at all. Oh dear God.
Gentlemen, I don't.
It's not. It has DNA.
Yeah.
Human DNA?
It has Earth DNA. It's got both double and single helix DNA. It's some sort of mutant.
You all can make a
What?
sanity roll with Dr. Lopez's revelation.
A mutant of what, Dr. Lopez?
There's things here that, I mean, it's not like.
Just lose 1d2 if you fail. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely lost 1d2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Lopez, do you think that this is a mutated human being from some sort of radiation? Or do you think this is something that a life form that originated actually on Earth? Or do you think that this might be the source of life on Earth from another world? I don't even know where to begin with this.
It's more like that. It's like copies of primordial DNA. It's
a chimera?
Definitely from Earth. This is complex DNA. There's no alien on another planet that would have DNA.
That wouldn't match ours, no.
So it's either from Earth, maybe it's some plant or animal or something that they brought with them and it mutated, but it's too complicated. This has a complete biosystem, and I'm not 100% sure that it's even dead.
If that is the case, we should not bring it aboard the ship.
We might not have a choice eventually, but you're right. Let's leave it here for now. Dr. Lopez, is there any way that you can find, with what equipment you have brought with you here, or what might be on the shuttle, that you can determine if there are any markers like animal, human, fungi, anything to specify what this actually is?
It'll take time and analysis. I don't have anything on the ship here I need more advanced equipment. I'll take samples of it back to the ship when we go.
Definitely take samples. I don't know how we're going to get this back to the ship.
This has got to be some sort of mutant that they created, but everything seems to indicate that it's got more primordial DNA than we do. I mean, there's things in here that look like dinosaur DNA and
God.
And plant DNA. And plant, what is it for plants? RNA? My God. It couldn't possibly be alien, but it's so alien.
Looks like nothing, no life form then.
No fossil like this has ever been found on Earth.
Sea cucumber. I'm spitballing here. Sea cucumbers, anything like that. Is that what the biology is like? I mean, it's this cone, this uh big cone. Is it something like that? Some form of sea life that
Like
you
a
might.
sea anemone?
It has
Yeah,
definite
exactly.
characteristics of both sea anemone, sea life, cucumber, but it has a circulatory system, and it has uh, I think that it actually breathes air. And these, what I thought were vestigial wings, I don't think they're made. At least I don't know. There's just I don't have enough equipment here to test this thing. I think maybe we should, if I can determine that it's no longer alive, then maybe we should take this back.
How do we know it's alive or not?
I'm finding little traces of what look like metabolism. It could
We
be,
could bring it back
there's
to the other ship.
a lot of sea animals, you can do a lot of damage to them and they repair themselves over time.
So that head might come back then? That
Jan,
quote-unquote
that might
head?
be a good idea.
Might just grow a new one.
Going meant like a tardigrade, yeah? Then yeah, if we could take it to the other ship, it likely has the same facilities as our ship once we unlock it.
Yeah, we
That
have
way
the
we'll
people
keep our Trifina free of contamination or risk.
that makes the most sense. That really does. That is a good idea. And then we can get it from that ship to our ship if required by the directive. Oh gosh, I hate to play lawyer on these things. We were required to secure it safely upon our vessel at some point, but
Let's
I think
lock it in this room.
Sorry,
we can
are
get it
you,
safely aboard the Trifina. Yeah? We happen to have two of them right now. Makes
Yeah.
things very
Well,
convenient.
Until we are secured here, I'll lock it in this room so that it can't get out if it does come back.
that's a good
Okay.
plan.
Let's
Okay.
finish our
No idea what
analysis
this
here
is
and then
capable of.
okay, so you're keeping whatever that thing is in the command in the
Yeah.
bridge of the Gila. Okay. All right.
I'll
The head can stay
put a
in
code
there.
lock or something,
We're not-
however you close
Had
the
in
door.
mind.
Yeah, you're gonna-
give it.
We have to.
Right.
We have
So you do have a
Oh,
directive
well.
for corpses of humans as well, right?
I think Jacqueline is just going to kind of like reach out and grab the head and take it out of the room with them before they, so we can bring it back with the body and body bag that up.
The head of the person?
Yes, of Captain Holzel.
I'm sorry, Captain.
None of this makes sense, but you know who I think has answers? And at this point, I've kind of done some sort of override so that only the people in this room and Mr. Navate aboard the Persis can hear. All right, I've cut the both this off of this communication. I do not trust them. We need to find things out. Mr.
trust them
Navate, with a yes or no, only. Are they occupied? Are they aware of what's going on? The both of us.
Yeah, let's actually cut back to Navathi here. It's been a quiet, maybe hour and a half in the Persis. Rajendra, you and Tanya and Akash are basically just working away at little scientific experiments every now and then. Bata's cursing under his breath because something isn't working exactly right, but it's very extremely quiet except for the hum of the computers and engines around you. Uneventful.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like to just keep an eye on them, but two, like if he's like a meteorologist, can I tell like what weather he's pulling up without him telling me? Um,
Yeah, you're a scientist as well, so I mean you're assisting and helping out with their experiments and different sensor equipment and whatnot. Nothing out of the ordinary, as far as you can tell. He's looking at what you would expect a meteorologist to look at. Um, Tanya is a physicist, so she's doing experiments, physics experiments that you're assisting with. The AI is working on problems. It's you all are just
mhm.
being scientists.
Okay. And so, a really big question, would I have heard anything going on from the other ship via comms or whatever?
That's a good question. Did you, Captain Tamayo, have Nabathi on the line
Well,
while all of
last
this was
time,
happening?
I think I would keep Navate on the line so he's aware that's going on. I did say that we would all stay in communication. I also pictured the both of us as not really giving a crap about us and would be really into
Hmm.
this and doing their stuff.
I'm also.
But I
I
think
think
I would have removed them once I was away. I would have removed them from getting all transmissions. Um, at least, yeah, just I don't think they would be aware, but I would want to keep Mr. Navate aware, just so he knows what's going on, because I know his role
Okay.
graciously is babysitting right now to make sure they don't do it.
Okay, so Navati, if you heard all of that happening, I'll have you make a sanity roll because basically you're having to like kind of keep it
Yeah, I'm
together
super
while hearing all this
helpless right now.
oh
Like,
screaming
no.
oh my
craziness
God.
happening and just wondering what the hell is happening over there, and especially if you heard the whole soul
Okay.
message.
That's a pass with a 44. So
Okay,
I'm
all right.
keeping it together, but I'm just like, what is what am I missing out on, honestly? Like what I'm both horrified but intrigued. Um so yeah, as they're doing experiments, I probably would have slowly pulled away and just kind of like keep checking out the windows to see like, are they coming soon? What's it like? Are they trying to flip it over? What's the move? Because I'm only hearing like bits and pieces while trying to also listen in on what these other two scientists are saying.
Yeah, Tanya kind of notices you looking out and kind of walks over to you and puts an arm on your shoulders. Is everything okay? Have you heard anything?
I'm just a little worried. They've been gone a while and haven't heard much. Uh, yeah, it's all strange. It's very strange. This whole situation. So I'm just who knows why there's a distress signal. Why uh, why there's another ship? It's all so bizarre. I'm just worried. Anything could happen, and I'm just worried.
Yeah, no, it is. It's an upsetting situation, and most likely the old Trifina crew is no longer with us as well. I hope we can get some answers, at least for their families.
Yes, there's definitely some work when we get back on,
Maybe there's some answers at one of the other sites where I keep picking up that crazy signal that the captain heard earlier. It's really creepy. I'd like to investigate the source of that, if at all possible. It looks like it's the site 90 miles south of us. There's also one coming from the north as well.
Well, let's maybe speak to the captain when he comes back, regroup and see what resources they used. I don't know what they're doing over there, and then and maybe see about another excursion. We could also just pick up this ship, fly it over at some point
Mhm.
and see. But I don't want to do anything without the captain's blessing. You know how you
Yes, yeah,
know
yeah.
how that.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah. We'll,
how's your other experiments going?
You know, I don't know. Dr. Bata, if I'm being completely honest, seems a little peeved. This really is just kind of a barren rock. With more mineralogical assessments, perhaps we could find, something more interesting at the core of the planet. But this looks to be basically another glorified asteroid.
Yes, it's a big
Other than
planetoid,
the
weird, mysterious
interesting
happenings.
signals
Yes,
here,
yes.
of course.
I'm wondering if they're not like some kind of radiation noise or something. Just it's so weird. I don't know.
Could be,
But
could be.
but yeah, do you think we could be on the verge of discovery?
I mean, I think we already have found something incredible
Well,
here.
well, the other Trifina, but that feels more like government hoo-ha,
mm,
you know.
yes, well, we know how the corporation is, but pays the bills.
Yes, it allowed me to come, so I can't complain too much. Um, does Dr. Botta happen to know maybe why this other Trifina is out here? Isn't he on the board, or?
He is, yeah, and it baffles both of us that there was another expedition out here. We were under no awareness that there was any other type of expedition besides ours. In fact, that's why Dr. Bata invested so much of his money into this, is because he'd be the first to go out this far.
I
So
know.
to be honest, he's a little disappointed, I think.
I would be upset too. I know that there's some. I bet if you follow the money, yes. Well, but
Yeah,
that will come later. Let's figure out what's going on here.
yes.
I'd like to kind of radio over to the captain and just, Captain, could I get a status check, please? How is things over there? Just because she's like engaging with me right now, I kind of want to like maybe assuage her of like harping on me about what's going
Yeah,
on.
and she doesn't seem concerned or upset or anything or nagging you.
I know you've already what's going on, because you've been on the call. I'm just going to be like, situation under control here. We're still investigating. I will be in touch very soon, Dr. Navate.
Very good, Captain. Thank you. If we need to move closer, just let me know. I can pilot one of these ships.
We may need that. We may have something that we will be returning with us.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Thank you. And I'll just relay to her. It seems like they're still checking things out, and they maybe have the black box. Like that's just kind of like me pulling it out of my head. Like they might get into the black box and check. We'll have to see.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, no, I would like to know what happened, and hey, it would be really helpful if we could get that shuttle working too.
Yes, more power to us. Yes.
Okay, we'll go back to the Gila. What is everyone else doing? Are we bagging up the body and heading back, or is there anything else that you would like to do on the shuttle?
I think I'm going to open it up to my team and like, ladies and gentlemen, is there anything else here that we need to do before we go back to the Persis? Anything we would like to do here before we go? We do have the possibility of Dr. Nabathe flying the shuttle to us and landing, and then it might make it easier transporting that.
Just kind of like just to jump in, most likely that wouldn't be possible because of just the rocks and everything. Like there really isn't a great landing spot. Pinheiro had to land. It's not too far. Yeah. It's not extremely far away, but it's doubtful, especially without like a skilled pilot, to get anything closer than where you're already at.
Well, then we'll settle for now for the samples that Dr. Lopez will take. Science Officer Bruno, is there anything that you think we should look at or take with us before we go?
Oh, besides the body, I would like to take any kind of logs or something from the laboratories on the shuttle, if that's possible. So I'm going to download them on a pad, carefully not touching anything that probably splattered with alien juice or human juice. Yeah, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, this is enough.
We're not going to put the lives of the crew at risk to retrieve that thing, even though we have a directive. If a method of getting it out of there comes up, and Chief said, if we can get it to the other Trifina first before we bring it to ours, would be ideal. But
I've managed to remove a number of samples from it.
Oh, good.
What appears to be some sort of eye stalk and a bit of tentacle. It didn't seem to have any metabolic reaction to that, so I don't think that it's alive. I do think that it will be well preserved even months from now, considering how tough it is. So there's no immediate need to get it off of this ship.
I agree.
We can always come back for it later.
We're not putting anyone at risk.
And yeah, it's been exposed to the outside of the ship because the window had crashed in due to the impact. So yeah, it's been exposed to the vacuum essentially.
Almost no deterioration that I can detect at all. All the injuries to it were because of the crash. However, I have an odd feeling that it was on the ship.
How did it get in here?
It didn't come from outside and get in. I think, at least I'm guessing, is that it was on the ship already.
I have a thought about that.
That they were transporting it, but I could be wrong.
I'm going to go back to the ship records. Do I, besides finding the captain's log, is there any indication that this has gone up and down from orbit to the surface multiple times before the final crash?
Yes. Yeah, there have been multiple transits from the old Trifina to the planet. You'll likely get more detailed information from the Trifina itself, but from what you can gather from the ship's logs, there have been, let's see, at least like descents. There's been at least 2 descents, descents and ascents.
Does it in fact look like it was damaged in the crash? This alien thing?
Yes, that's a reasonable assumption you can make.
So then we can assume that it was on board
as a passenger
when the ship crashed.
I'm wondering if somehow Captain Hosel been influenced by these things, and this thing was riding with him as a passenger, and the mutiny aboard the ship that he was putting down was really his crew reacting to whatever was happening with this creature, or hopefully not creatures. I have no idea where it came from. If it came from Earth and went with the original Trifina, if it was found here, and somehow, I think we need to get back to the other Trifina and now that we have the key card, see if we can get it going so we can get past that bulkhead, see what's on the other side. Maybe we'll find those exosuit loaders on the other side see what was going on there. Maybe we'll find more bodies. Maybe the captain deliberately blew them out. If they were
I'm beginning to suspect that those loaders are not on the ship at all anywhere. I think they are on a second a landing site somewhere here on the planetoid.
Maybe the South Pole. Do you gentlemen think,
Perhaps.
do you ladies and gentlemen think that we should check out the South Pole? It will also keep Dr. Boda quiet for a while as well, and his wife, just to see what we can find at the South Pole. Maybe the EV suit loader suits will be there, and maybe something's going on there that we don't know of. Do you think we should investigate that before we head off the planet back
You're
to the?
you're asking scientists if we're curious. Yeah, we're
Are you
curious.
curious?
Yeah, I wanted to say, Captain, I fully agree, and we still have two signals to investigate on
Yes.
this planetoid.
Well, we're
Also,
close to
Captain,
the South Pole.
at this time, I'm not able to do a complete dissection of
Mm,
the specimen, so I can't tell you if it even has a brain.
yeah.
However, this eyeball seems to be pretty well developed, and it probably has a brain in there somewhere, maybe multiple brains.
Yeah.
I just don't know until I dissect it.
I really don't know how much I want Dr. Volta to know about this alien yet. Obviously, we're not taking the corpse back, so it won't be so obvious if we come with some sample cases and things. We will be taking Captain Hosel's body with us back to the Persis. I'm thinking we should go to the South Pole, and we'll give him information as he needs to know it. But just, ladies and gentlemen, please keep your eyes and ears and just anything out of the ordinary. Let me know immediately with those two, because I don't trust them. And I feel he still knows more. I don't even think he tells his wife. So
Yeah.
I was
This
about
guy
to
is a
say
bit
that
creepy.
if we are going to inform anyone, it should be the wife. She would probably be the best to find out if it needs be.
Most likely, she's going to take his side over ours in any case. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think she's
Absolutely.
going to take it much more constructively. The doctor hits me as an impulsive,
no,
Correct.
short-sighted man of
he
science.
seems quite out of place for a meteorologist.
Yeah.
I'm also concerned about some good cop, bad cop going on with those two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
kinda
trust him.
wonder.
Don't trust him.
Yeah. Don't trust him.
If
So what's your
either of them-
plan?
if either of them do
You do have
anything
the
to
dead
endanger this
body
crew,
of
I'll
Nicholas
blow them
Holzel
both out
with
the
you.
nearest airlock.
The vented body, if it's about 100th of the gravity, then even if he was 300 pounds, he would weigh 3
Yeah,
tons.
no. I'm just saying. So the idea is you're going to go with the body, bring it back to the Persis, and then take the Persis directly from the crash site to the South Pole.
I think
Or
that's-
are you going to bring the body up to the med lab on the Trifina?
Could do that. Or
To go
real
up
traffic.
and come back, or do we want to go while we're here? We're only
You also now do, of course, have Captain Holzel's key card, so you can now fully access the old Trifina.
We
which
could
we could
return to
could
the
we
other
do that from
Trifina,
here?
reactivate it. I could stay behind to get it up and running again and get the systems active. And then
And I
Dr.
could-
Lopez.
I could
Could-
do some analysis on this thing.
Yeah, because you'll have the lab and it won't be aboard our Trifina. That's a good plan. I think we
And-
should go there. I'll let Dr. Bota and his wife know that we're gonna go there first because we have to get that ship online to do some things. But then we will return with them from that ship, from the other Trifina to one of the poles to visit. We are
Aye, aye.
closest to the South Pole. I think that would probably I think that would be the best one to first investigate, the South Pole, because it's so close to this. I don't know. Let's go to the other Trifina. Let's go back to the Persis with our samples and with our key card and with our corpse of the late Captain Hosel, and head up to the other Trifina.
Okay,
As you wish.
cool. So we'll say there's no hiccups getting back to the Persis. You all are getting used to the semi-zero G atmosphere. Bring the body along, the samples. Obviously, Dr. Bata, Tanya are shocked to find a corpse, and are a little peeved by that. What do you do with the body and the samples, Dr. Lopez, when you bring them in?
The samples I'm keeping under lock and key.
Okay.
We know about them. I don't want those two to know about them. The body, there's nothing we can do, and I'm surprised that they would be surprised that. I mean, we know there should be bodies all over the place. So.
They're just not used to seeing corpses, and this is now the second corpse that they've seen. In a day.
We propped them up in their seats so that
I toss both of the head. Here you go.
Give them blindfolds.
slow gravity. We just toss it back and forth.
Hey,
there is
castball.
like a little isolation bay in Persis if you do want to keep the body in there. You're also a little packed for space since you already have 8 people on board in the ship. So, okay, so you are first headed back to your Trifina, the new Trifina.
You want to go? Should we go back to the new
No.
Trifina? Or do you want the old the one that was there before us? The wreck. The wreck.
The
Trifina.
old one is safer. Yeah.
Yeah. For this, I don't want to. We don't want to bring the. We don't want to bring the alien samples on board our ship to Dr. Lopez's examine them once we get the ship running, the other ship running, which hopefully now we can do. So let's get that ship running and proceed from there.
Dr. Bata is like, why are we going to the old Trifina? I need to drop off my experiments.
We need to get that ship up and running to be able to get some additional information that we were not able to get the first time. We will return immediately from the old Trifina to the poles, to the South Pole. Just
good.
Dropping people off, Doctor.
All right, whatever.
The other one, I'm sorry, but the other shuttle was not recoverable, so we can't split up.
Fine. He just kind of like rolls his eyes and is grumbling under his breath.
I'll try to assuage him a little bit by saying, Doctor, if you keep your equipment here and your current experiments, when we get to the other sites, I think it will be easier for you to add to your information. So it's all in one place. It should be a little easier than going back and forth, you know.
Fine, whatever. He's just like grumpy. He's like a sad
he's
3-year-old.
petulant.
He needs his nap. Yeah, he needs a good nap.
He needs some pills.
Okay. All right. So y'all are going to the old Trifina. Okay. All right. So nothing has changed since you got back. Pinheiro, you dock it, no problems. You walk through the access tunnels. I'm assuming, Captain, you go to the bridge and use Captain Holzel's card to reinitialize systems. Like magic, everything reinitializes. The ship is no longer in silent running mode. Life support systems are activated. Power core is on. The area where it was depressurized in the engineering bay, you get a notification that area's automated repair system has patched the hole, and that part of the ship is now pressurized. Go ahead and make a computer use roll or systems roll. Whoever is in the bridge.
I think I might help out if I'm needed, because I do have computer.
You can do whoever's rolling can roll with advantage then.
That's enough for a hard success then with the advantage. 20
cool.
out of 70.
Cool. So first thing you get is the crew list of the old Trifina. According to the ship's computer, the crew members with an asterisk next to them are still on board. Remember, you do not find any life signs on board, but these people are still on board the ship.
The Priya.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have,
Yeah, you did find Priya. You've not found the three others. Okay.
We found the captain, though, right?
The captain was down on the planet. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. Okay. All right. The next thing that you all find are Captain Nicholas Holzel's logs. You have 2 logs that you can access here.
Captain Nicholas Holzel's log, 24/9/41. Well, the impossible has happened. So one may forgive the lack of formality of this log. One Earth day ago, we encountered a planetoid, one we have named Salo's Glory, after our Finnish navigator who discovered it. To add to our surprise, 2 signals have been detected on the surface. They appear to issue from the planetoid's north and south poles, and each is surrounded by a circle of stones. Our onboard computer systems cannot make anything of the signals. On playback, they resemble disjointed pipings and static. I have organized a team to head down there in the Gila. This would be such a boon for science. Personal addendum. I've been feeling a little odd since before we entered orbit. I was asleep when Salo made the discovery, but could swear I was dreaming of the planetoid. Probably I was dreaming of Earth's moon. Whatever it was, my metaphorical hackles have been raised ever since I heard that damn piping signal. How does a ship's captain tell his subordinates he has an irrational bad feeling about something? Well, he doesn't.
Captain Nicholas Holzel's log, 25/9/41. My personal misgivings have proven correct. The team discovered an entrance at the North Pole covered in debris and returned here to equip themselves with loaders to attempt to gain entry. This has failed, the entrance proving too impenetrable. A second entrance was found at the South Pole, this one already open. They entered on my orders, and we have not heard anything from them for 3 hours. I ordered the Gila back to the ship by the remote, and I intend to leave a skeleton crew here, mainly engineering staff, while I take the remainder to investigate the South Pole. I will place the Trifina on silent running while we are gone. I have a terrible feeling about this. Personal addendum. I tried to sleep between the shift change, but that damned piping signal has infiltrated my dreams. I am taking my team down armed.
So it looks like they were able to gain entry to something. Maybe that's where they met this creature or found these creature. The South Pole, they were able to gain entry, but they weren't able to get in at the North Pole. But now at least we know where those loader mechanical suits are, should we need them. Outside where they couldn't gain entry. Apparently something happened down there. With the crew that was left behind is the same crew that we were able to find that were still on board, or at least their bodies, even though we haven't found their bodies yet. That makes sense. That's the engineering crew, if you look at the roster. Apparently they discovered something down there, and it sounds pretty big. South Pole was our guess for where to go. They went armed. He put the ship on the lockdown while he still had engineering crew on board. I'm a little curious about that. Why he would want to do that.
He said silent running, which is odd. I thought
Maybe-
silent running is just no communications.
Maybe radio silence so whatever or whoever never gets the signal.
Okay. Oh, I understand that. Okay, yeah.
He seems to be quite a paranoid person. I
Yeah.
don't know if that is by temperament or by lack of sleep, but
Well,
perhaps it is an overabundance of paranoid caution.
Obviously, the signal, he heard it too, what we heard, and it affected him somehow. I'm starting to be a little concerned about those of us who have heard it. I haven't had those feelings quite yet, other than our scares with that thing. I did stop listening quick enough, and I managed to avoid listening again.
yeah, I wanted to say perhaps some soundproofing might not be a bad idea. Mm.
If when we go to the South Pole, like, yes, that something to like something where we can dampen out the sound from the outside. If there is a piping and a signal down there, we obviously don't want to hear it. But still be able to communicate. Is that something we could possibly do with our environmental suits down there, like to be able to keep out outside sound and only communicate with one another within our suits?
Sure. Yeah. Mhm.
I think that would be a wise precaution. Thank you, Dr. Puno.
Noise canceling headphones.
Can we access any of the crew, maybe engineering crew that stayed behind, any of their logs?
Yeah, you would need to go to the engineering section to access that. Now that the ship is unlocked, you have access to all the different areas.
And that was what was behind the bulkhead, right? That we could get.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we do need to see what was going on down there before we leave.
Okay. All right. So let's say you head all down to the engineering bay area. You're able to override the locks on the bulkhead now. The bulkhead comes down, and you are immediately greeted with 3 dead bodies. They're covered in bruises. Dr. Lopez, you're familiar enough with space medicine to know that they likely died from decompression, rapid decompression.
So blood vessels burst in their eyes, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you look at the logs in this area, there's nothing really of note from the engineering area. You do, however, access a note from Priya Deer.
I'm feeling rather uneasy about the direction this mission is taking. The crew is nervous and excited. I cannot say that I share these emotions. I have my suspicions. No, scratch that. I know for certain that we did not encounter this planetoid by accident. Secondary pilot Hyung Ji-won was in charge when we encountered the planetoid, and after the investigations, I discovered a powerful deviation in our flight path. It is almost as if he knew where to guide the Trifina. The crew is overly excited about what the team sent down in the Hela. Well, I'm sorry. The crew is overly excited about what the team sent down in the Hela will find. I am more concerned than excited, and will reveal my worries to Captain Hosel once our duty shifts coincide. You know, it's got me thinking, gentlemen. We started encountering that piping sort of signal before we got here.
Our navigator.
Now we have this alien. I mean, we'll have to see when we get to the South Pole. I mean, from what the log you read, it seems like there's some sort of construction inside this asteroid. Entrance, he kept
He
saying.
didn't say door. Entrance. Well, he said entrance. Yeah. They couldn't open the other one. So it sounds.
Well, if this thing is in fact some sort of alien, then maybe it's trying to get the attention of its alien friends. And that's what the signal is that we're picking up.
Could one of you make a computer use or systems use roll? Maybe one or two of you that are kind of maybe more the
45%.
engineering side.
I guess I'll do it
Oh,
too.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I got a 35 out of 45 on systems.
Okay.
38 on computer.
Okay. Pinheiro, then if you could read this. This was an encrypted message, but you were able to bypass it fairly easily. You find one more log entry in here.
Right.
This is under pilot Hyung Jiwon's log.
Everything has escalated more quickly than I desired. Ever since the voices entered my dreams, I have been making plans. No one else shall have it. Only the best, the purest, must have possession of what lies below. I can't join the first team down, but have talked to my way on the second. There were loose ends to tie up here. The dear woman is no longer a problem. The engineering crew meant to stay behind while we investigate the loss of the first team have just been dealt with permanently. The way ahead may be difficult, but I have a complete and utter faith in myself. The voices demanded. What the fuck?
He murdered the crew.
Murdered them.
Yeah.
He
Son of
also
a...
he also put them directly onto this path, deviated the course so that they would come to this location. It was our navigator, Gertrude Balmer, who deviated.
Make
I think
an
you
intelligence roll, Captain Tamayo.
You should send a signal back to the ship and tell them to watch out for Gertrude.
I'm not convinced it was her. It could have been Dr. Botha as well.
Yeah, he was acting a little bit weird. He was trying to demand to get to the poles or to the planet in general. And this is not good. How the hell these people?
Oh, I just passed 64 under 65.
Okay, good. So you know for a fact, because you obviously are the captain of the ship, that the planned route for the Trifina was never deviated from. The route of your Trifina was exactly on course. And you would have passed this area with or without any kind of deviation. Without deviation, I should say. So you just thinking of like the route of the Trifina, you would have passed by this planetoid.
We were
from Earth. Yeah.
We were
This was planned.
programmed. This was planned for us to be here. Dr. Botha, who would I'm trying to think who would have this. So I think this lets Gertrude off the hook for a bit.
Be the corp. Yeah.
Somebody at corporate would have planned this. I wonder if it was Dr. Botha. He's been very itching at the bit to get down there to these poles.
Captain, I'm going to use the onboard computer to run an analysis of the signal and compare it to human brainwave patterns and see if there's a correlation. Maybe the signal is inadvertently causing people to dream.
Mm-hmm.
You would probably need to be on your Trifina to conduct that, but Dr. Bruno has already done pretty extensive analyses, and the AI has absolutely no idea what this is. There's no known correlates to anything.
So it doesn't look like brainwaves at the same
encyclopedia,
time.
no.
Would
That was the thought.
Hazel or anyone have been able to get a message back to corporate? I mean, obviously, I don't know how fast communication between us and Earth, say, would be. I'm sure I'm not bad.
Yeah.
Right?
So you
Or-
are aware of a corporate directive that states that if any alien exotechnology is found, that a tight beam be sent immediately to the moon station of Galilee Heavy Industries. So that would have been standard protocol once
Holzer would
Holzel
have done
found
that.
those sites that he described in his logs to send a uh, faster than light type beam
So they
communicate to.
were well aware of what they were doing when they sent us here in our course. And we were supposed to see what it was that Hosel found. That makes sense.
Why the obscuring with a ship of the same name, though?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
None of it makes sense. None of it makes
Cloak and dagger bullshit.
But why? I mean, you could have named it the Zeus or anything in the universe, and nobody would have cared.
Would any of us have any kind of idea of like, is Trifina like a mythological name that somebody would maybe recognize in their brain?
Someone with like a high education, who has like the
Oh.
highest education stat.
I got a pretty high education.
I've got a education 75.
I have an
I got
85.
85.
I have an 80.
Okay,
Everybody.
I think 85. Why don't we have the 85 roll?
Yeah, please.
It's an obscure one. It's an
Okay.
obscure one.
Oh boy.
Well, I failed it. 95 out of 85.
Oh.
You don't know.
May I
No.
roll it as well? I have 85 as well.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Go ahead,
You can
Dr.
do it.
Bruno.
No.
State my curiosity.
I mean,
I'll tell you at the
kinda
end of
know
the
from
scenario.
Greek.
That's a 79. That's a regular.
Okay, wow. Get your bad rolls out. So
Oh
that is
my
a pass,
gosh.
right? Okay.
Okay.
So Dr. Bruno, you know that Trifina, Persis, and Gila are all names of Christian martyrs from the Bible,
Okay.
or their names from the Bible. They're females in the Bible, some of which are martyrs.
An
Okay.
ominous name for a ship.
Wait.
People are scientists. We don't believe in the Bible.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, they're just legends, and martyrs usually are sent to their death, which one of these ships actually met, but that's just circumstantial.
So why do you use the
Any-
same name for the ship?
do you share that, Dr. Bruno, with everyone else? Do you share that you know
Oh,
the reference?
I mean, yeah, I'm going to talk matter of factly, not putting any kind of belief or gloom behind it.
We also know that they named the planet after the engine, the person
Navigator.
who covered it.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, after Salo.
Hello.
I wonder what that name means.
Salt, or am I picking
That's
it
just his
around?
last name.
I think it's just a
That
Finnish
was the
last
last name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was one of the engineers that
It was the
deviated
secondary
them on
pilot
purpose?
It's
Secondary
that
pilot.
Deere suspects has deviated the course. Yeah.
Oh boy. Poor
Since we
dear.
have access to this Trifina, any communications have ever left this shuttle? So I don't know if you can actually find that out. Not if who received it. Did they send something like a transmission log of the mission before everything went south?
I think they might have sent a lot of their information back to corporate,
Right.
and corporate's kept it a secret.
Yeah, no surprise. So this is all premeditated by Corpo.
And our mission's been a lie, been sent out here knowing that they know where we were going,
I
like
mean,
a martyr
this-
to the slaughter.
yeah. I mean, I'm going to default to the more intimidating colleagues of our team, but if you suspect that the good two doctors know something, now would be the time to press them for some information. It's just a suggestion, of course. I will never endorse violence as a scientist.
I'm starting to agree, Dr. Bruno.
We will always be armed in their presence. We will use the excuse that because we're going to a dangerous situation. I do want to brief them because I kind of want to try to read their faces when we tell them what
Yeah, they've just been waiting in the
this
persist.
Trifina discovered down there.
Do we think that this has played out like this? The corporation created a ship, the Trifina, the first one, sent it out here on an exploration. That somewhere along the way, the pilot was receiving messages, whether he realized it or not, that caused him to guide the ship right here. They sent information back, and now corporate has sent us kind of to see what happens, except maybe your meteorologist knows things. Whatever it is that's going on, it obviously drove people insane.
You think the
It's
pilot
like that
had...
movie Solaris. You remember that movie Solaris from a long time back where they were on a ship and they were all driven insane because the aliens were trying to contact them?
Yeah.
It could be that, or it could be a roadside picnic thing. Perhaps this is the remains of a Precambrian zoo, and we are merely misinterpreting the advertising signals. Any number of things when you're dealing with an alien concept.
You know, I'd be far more accepting of the idea that aliens visited here and got a bunch of things from Earth and brought them out here for a zoo than that thing came from Earth.
Yeah.
That seems more likely, but
many.
Do you think any of the secondary pilot or our little businessman over here probably got influenced by one of these things back on Earth? That's a
I think
shot in the
they
dark.
murdered all the people on the ship.
Yeah.
Although, you know what, he did say taken care of. Have we been able to get through the bulkhead to the other part of the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
and we didn't find a bunch of them.
Mm-mm. No, the only bodies that were on board were the 3 found in engineering and Priya Deer's body, which is now
probably dumped them out of space.
Yeah. One quick question about the area that was sealed off behind the bulkhead. The damage that got caused and was being repaired, did it look like it was like
Sabotage?
an explosion, a penetration?
From what you could likely gather, and then based off of the log, most likely engineer or secondary pilot closed the bulkhead on the people that were in there, and then triggered some type of decompression, like emergency.
Okay, just decompression, but there's no actual like hull damage. Okay,
from what you can tell.
Oh, that's good. So good.
Now it all comes to whether we want to report any of this back to corporate.
We need to see what is at the South Pole to verify it's there. But when we have a directive 56B, that it would require, if we do discover some evidence of an alien civilization or structure, I do need to immediately send it back to Earth by tight beam, fast FTL message.
Well, Captain,
which I'm assuming is what Captain Hosel did. I do have something thinking about all this. I'm going with my gut. As a captain, sometimes you just have to go with your gut and feeling. I don't like Dr. Botha. He is a pompous ass. He paid his way onto this mission, paid his way to become a member of the board. But I'm not sure he's the one. He's the Xian, whatever that engine, the secondary navigator or pilot's name was that was following these signals. Dr. Bota's wife, doesn't it strike you how unaffected by things she is? How out of her way to be kind and cajoling and trying to smooth things out. What if it's not him and if it's her? I just have this gut feeling she's the one we need to watch.
Yeah.
See, this is
Careful
sounding
with
like
nice
your
ones.
counterpart's paranoia. That is what I think.
Paranoia?
I think
Paranoid.
her job is to placate us
Hmm.
while he does whatever he's wanting to do.
He had to buy his way onto this mission, though.
So
maybe-
so all of a sudden you get a loud angry message in your comms unit. Excuse me, Captain. You have been holding us on this Persis. We need to get back to the ship so that we can begin our expedition to the South Pole immediately. Please return to the Persis in the next 10 minutes, or I will be forced to
Dr.
communicate
Botha,
with
Dr.
heavy
Botha,
industry.
you do not give the orders here. The directives clearly state that the captain is always in charge of the mission. It doesn't matter who else. He is in charge of the ship. He is in charge of the mission. You will wait patiently until I am ready to return with the crew and we are done with our work here. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, perfectly clear. And he cuts the communication.
All right. We will be going, but we're going to go back in 11 minutes.
Jack,
Is there
I knew
any
that. We're going back
indication
in
that the
11
Persis is now like undocking?
No, it's not undocking or anything. No,
Hmm.
it's still docked.
Is there anything else we need to do
how-
here? We've examined what we can. I know that all roads lead to the South Pole.
Remove the engineers from storage
Yes.
in here. Put them into the ship for taking back to our
Correct.
ship.
We do need to. They were murdered, so we do need to put them in body bags and take them back. I'm not sending any messages about because we have not seen the discovery. This could all be lunacy.
Correct.
Until we see it at the South Pole, I'm not sending anything back. And even then, I'm going to wait till we're back on the Trifina to send it. Our Trifina. I want to see it for myself, see if it's real, and if it is, we will send that message. But we're not.
or not.
Mhm. I have
Yeah.
no idea what Bota can possibly do to us, but the man is a pompous ass. He bought himself onto that board. He bought himself onto this mission.
It's not your
Yeah.
job to make him happy.
Yeah, it's not my job. My job is to get all of you home safely. That is my ultimate job. So we will, in 11 minutes, return to the Persis, and we will head to the South Pole of Salo's glory.
And lastly, before we leave, and that will definitely help, probably even 12 minutes, not just 11. Did we look at the engineer that went off their rockers, personal quarters, or anything like their locker? Did they kept any kind of, I don't know, journal?
You have approximately 8 minutes before Bata loses his shit to examine that, if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean,
We'll
this is
say you do walk past it. It happens to be on your way back to the Persis. There's nothing of note,
okay.
other than
Yeah.
the log that you discovered of his insane ramblings.
And he went down to the surface and didn't return.
Yeah. No weird scratches with a knife in the side of the locker.
You do discover a blood-covered knife in the room, though.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, no.
We are going to go fully armed when we do go to the surface, obviously, to the South Pole. Pistols, plasma rifles, any other weaponry that we might have, grenade-like thing or anything or is it just basically the plasma?
Before you leave for the purses, I'm going to have Engineer Jan and Captain Tamayo make intelligence rolls.
Okay.
14 out of 85.
Okay. As you are walking through the access port, you notice the 2 exosuits that are still left on board the old Trifina.
I had an extreme success, 12 under.
Let's see the exosuits.
I think we need to take these with us, so it might be 12 minutes before we get back. We are taking.
So you load the power loaders onto.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Does anybody know how to use them?
You all would know how to use these.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. All right. Dr. Bata is pissed and glowering at you, but you all get onto the ship with your power loaders and make your way to the new Trifina to offload the 4 bodies that you have now. I'm assuming Dr. Lopez wants to put their samples in the med lab. You arm up. Anything else before you head down to the South Pole?
We'll go with
I'll set the automatic systems to start analysis of the samples. Okay. It'll take them a few hours. So.
How's Gertrude doing?
She's shaken. She's upset. That there have been basically this entire crew complement has been destroyed. News, of course, spreads incredibly fast on the ship. And in fact, while you all are getting prepared, the 2 other sponsors of the Trifina expedition also come up and to the captain. They are somewhat less persnickety, as Dr. Bot said, is Eso Yan and Ernie Bigelow. They are 2 sponsors of the Trifina trip. You don't need to memorize their names. They are bothered because Dr. Bata has sent them communications that you are dragging your feet on potentially momentous discoveries and not sending information to Galilee Heavy Industries. So they're very suspicious of you and would like to be assuaged of their suspicions.
I'll talk to them. I feel they're probably sound more reasonable. I'm gonna, put the things we needed, some stuff, some information. We had to get the ship online before we went down. There might be a dangerous situation. I tell them that could affect our crew. That it looks like it may have affected the prior Trifina. I'm also gonna try to explain to them that Dr. Botha. I mean, you know him. He's a little. He
is a bit of a hothead.
Yeah,
I agree.
Our crew. You know what they're capable of. You know all these scientists. We needed to make sure we had to get the other ship online, so we're not going in blind into something. We're not reporting anything to corporate yet because we haven't seen it yet. We do not know if these are the ravings of lunatics, something that might have affected their minds. I want to see it before. I want to see what's down there.
What did you discover on the shuttle, Captain Tamayo?
We discovered something that may or may not be an alien life. We have some samples. we are looking for a way to get the full creature back, but we do have some secured samples.
Well, as you know, that is the highest priority of Galilee Heavy Industries. Have you
Yes,
sent a
we've covered them.
notification? Have you sent a notification to corporate about this?
The directive doesn't state a timeline for the communication. We're waiting to put pieces together. I don't want to sound. We had a log from Dr. Holzel, from Captain Holzel, and it sounded like he had gone completely off the deep end. I don't want to sound crazy by repeating the ravings of a lunatic before we've actually physically seen and identified this. I mean, the samples appear to be Earth origin DNA, so we're not even sure this is a life form. It could be a mutation, an experiment that was part of. There's not enough facts yet.
They're looking at you like, what the hell is he talking about? All right, so they're like, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
We're not
Well,
sending a
Captain,
report. We're not
well,
sending a
we
report
would
until
like
we
to
have a full
examine.
analysis.
We would like to examine these samples while you're on the planet.
Oh,
Dr. Bigelow is a
they are
biologist.
aboard the other Trifina right now for safety.
Oh, I thought Dr. Lopez, you brought it on to the new one.
He
to-
bought, let's just say, parts. Not all of the bodies we found were intact. Let us say that.
I bought
Trying to
parts and
fast
they're
talk,
being
fast talk. Like
Okay.
I don't want them looking at them.
They're gonna head kind of straight to the med lab and say, get down to the planet immediately. We need to make sure that there's no technology that corporate can use.
Oh, exactly. That is the plan. We're going to get fresh gear. We're going to have fresh EV suits. Make sure the Percy is properly refueled, and we shall return. That is the plan.
All right, they seem assuaged. You notice Tanya come up to you, and as you're kind of getting everything loaded onto the ship, and she says, she says, Dr. Bada's taken quite ill, and unfortunately will not be able to make it onto the planet.
What?
Myself and the ethnobotanist would like to come along if that's acceptable to you.
Who was our exo?
The exobiologist is Seema Newell. Sorry, you don't have their names. We'd like to come onto this expedition if at all useful. I'm quite handy with a pistol.
Well, I was planning on having you come with us, Tanya, with your husband. What I need to know more about your husband's because I know he's been listening to that signal. I need to know, and this is very important, when this came on. I need you to talk to me and Dr. Lopez.
Yes.
What are the symptoms of what?
Oh, yeah, yes, of course. No, and you can go visit him if you like. He's just not feeling very well right now. He'd rather not be disturbed, as you know. My husband is.
He doesn't have a choice.
Quite
the safety of the crew.
Quite hot-headed, especially when he's ill. But I think all of this has just worked him up too much. And so I think you'll probably prefer having him not on the planet, as you've seen his behavior.
I do want to. That's fine. We need to know what his condition is before we go, because
Sure, yeah, of course.
Other events we have, other things we've learned about the previous crew. I want Dr. Lopez to take a look at him.
Of course.
All of our stuff and all of our equipment and the purses refueled.
Myself and Miss Newell will be in the Persis. And
hold on, Miss Newell. I haven't made a decision on that yet.
Oh, yes, of course, Captain.
Right.
I just really wanted to go on the planet. I've heard that there may be some type of biological organisms there, and
you will be on this
planned?
mission as planned, as previously planned. You will be on this mission. This kind of puts a. I just want to make sure that Dr. Volta is okay before we leave, and Dr. Lopez to check him out.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Lopez, do you go and investigate Dr. Bada?
Sure, but I'm kind of pissed because I don't give a fuck about, Doctor.
Right.
About,
Yes.
I'm
Yeah, and
concerned when we're privately, I'm concerned about the things that people were seeing with behavior
I
and
understand. I know what you're
Dr.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I just wanted like what Dr. What Captain Hosel was going through, the things he was saying in his logs about the feelings,
I'll
the dreams, the
I'll ask him a few questions, and if it doesn't sound like it's going in that direction, I'll
yeah,
give him a sedative to put him to
yeah.
yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, he when you see him, he's immediately agitated that he came in the room and is, what the hell are you doing in here, Lopez?
I was told you weren't feeling well.
Yeah, I feel like shit. It's been an exhausting day and I'm stressed out because this mission is going to shit. We haven't reported anything to corporate. They're gonna have my ass on a platter when I get back to the moon. And he's like kind of like hyperventilating. You can see he's like flushed and kind of like, I don't know, kind of clammy and
Have you been having any strange dreams lately?
no, I don't dream. What do you mean?
Oh, well, here, take this sedative, and it should
Ugh,
make you feel better.
finally, so I'm getting some relief. Get out of here. Go.
Jeez.
Go to sleep, Go to sleep.
You're gonna die someday. I'll walk out. Go back to where Captain is. I put him to sleep. Not in the pleasant way like you do to an animal. I just put him asleep.
No chokehold needed.
I also want to consult with Dr. Bruno and Dr. Navathe. Have they worked with what's his name? Seamus?
Seema
What's her name?
Newell. Newell. I'll
Newell.
type it in.
Miss Newell. Is she a doctor? Or is she just a science specialist or
She's a doctor. She's a
yeah.
doctor of exobiology.
Yeah.
Dr. Lopez, you would have worked with her. She's a competent.
Okay.
He's
So I'll ask
competent,
the three
but
doctors
Yeah.
what their thoughts are, especially our chief science officer. What are their thoughts? Have they been working with her? And
I think she's a fine doctor. I
okay.
don't think that she would have even been chosen for this mission or a mission like this unless she'd been top notch.
Mhm.
However, at this point in our investigation, there are so many strange things going on
Yeah.
here. I don't think we're going to know anything until we get to the South Pole
Yeah.
and or North Pole
Yeah.
and see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, no, I agree. As a chief scientist, we need all the help we can get. We are under corporate investment. We are owned by the company. We need to produce some results. We need to go there. We need to see what this thing is. Safety first. And we are going to probably make a name for ourselves and get out alive. So,
And if there is a wolf in sheep's clothing, better there in front of you than behind you.
That is true. So for being armed for this mission, I do not want Tanya or Dr. Newell to have any weapons. I want them covertly scan before we get on the Persis to make sure they're not sneaking something aboard. The only people I want each of you to feel, if you have a plasma pistol, to maybe keep it concealed. Plasma rifles for myself and Mr. Pinheiro, and we will have them out. We will pretend to be the only ones armed for this. But the rest of you, I want you to feel if you wish to take, a plasma pistol with you. But I do not want them having any weapons because I'm not sure what's going on with those two. And it's interesting that maybe they're just friends and they chat at lunch or whatever in the break room. But
Why don't you give them dampered weapons so that they can't actually kill anyone?
Yeah, it would be fairly suspicious, especially because you've communicated that there's likely danger and
okay,
they know that
all
there's
right.
been
So we'll give them
multiple-
weapons that are
multiple
sort of like
bodies
the equivalent of
discovered.
having what is it?
They're set to stun instead of to
stun. Yeah. Not even that, just blanks.
It's
Prop weapon.
Prop
Okay,
guns.
that'll work.
All right.
They're not gun nuts.
Anything else for the Trifina before you head down?
Of course, obviously, we're taking the two suits,
Mhm.
the what is the
Power loaders.
power loaders suits.
And any equipment we might need to.
Yeah, if there's any
Yeah.
additional equipment you haven't brought on anything, we'll make room for it. We'll find a way.
Yeah, infrared goggles, Geiger counter, pressurometers, everything. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Trifina quarter.
Check it out.
All right, so I will do call, whatever, to Tanya and Miss Newell or Dr. Newell and say, well, meet us in 5 minutes at the Persis to board, and we will be departing shortly.
Great. All right. So, do you head to the North Pole or the South Pole?
South poles seem to be open, so
The South Pole seems like it'll be easier. But it
Okay.
also something obviously happened there, so we're going to have to be very careful.
if you
Okay.
see a bunch of these barrel things walking around, don't land.
Okay. So, you make your way to the South Pole of Salo's Glory. Again, fairly dark on the surface, so there's only so much that you can really see from an elevated place. Interestingly, as you get closer, you notice a large crater, and around this crater are huge stones in a circle.
Like a Stonehenge.
They're placed in a circle. The crater is about 2.3 miles across. There is quite a bit of rocky debris across the surface of the crater. Pilot Pinheiro, you can either go to the site manually or you can let the autopilot follow the signal, which is emanating clearly from this crater. As you get closer, you see a circle of dome-shaped stones. They're around 1.5 miles across. Between them is a circular chasm. Again, there's not many landing sites around this site, but you will have to land essentially within that stone circle. From all appearances, unless you want
These
to
definitely don't look like natural. They're too regular,
No.
too evenly spaced.
Nope, they seem to be almost perfectly evenly spaced around.
Yeah.
You count out, there's about 31 stones. There are 31 stones in total. They appear, at least from the ship as you're coming in, to be identical. You'll get a better sense of that once you get closer, once you get close to them. And that's about all that you can tell from here. Again, there's a circle and then a chasm that's within this circle of stones.
Well, that's not man-made.
So we've landed along the chasm, but within the circle of
Correct. Yes.
of artificially constructed stones. Okay, and it's just obvious to us that they're. Well, it looks like we found evidence of another civilization. I will have to, the corporate directive. I will have to do this. I'm debating whether I should do it now from the Persis or I should wait till we get back to the Trifina till we've looked around a little more.
Captain, you'll want as much information as you can get to
That is
send.
correct. Yeah. So let's explore first before we alert the Trifina and those aboard and and then corporate. Let's see what we can see.
All right. Do you exit the Persis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do first?
Well, I guess we have to find this open entrance. Was it?
Yeah, so you all are fairly close to the chasm. You're not the stones are kind of a ways away. Like you would kind of have to hike over to the stones. There's quite a bit of distance. But what you can tell what's interesting about the stones is they're emanating a red glow.
This is definitely some alien technology.
Mhm. So if you look at the chasm, investigating the chasm area, first thing you notice here is there are lights set up around the chasm. Clearly, these are the similar kinds of excavation lights that you would find on the Trifina. As you get kind of closer to it, you see that there's a tripod and a winch that's been set up. There is an opening in the chasm, and you can see a wire has descended into the chasm. The lights are off, and the generator is not on.
Can we activate that generator?
Yes, you can easily turn on the generator. There's no real problems with that. You just do that manually, and you see the lights kind of shine down directly onto the chasm. There's 9 of these lights.
Okay.
3 of the floodlights are attached to a single generator. So do you want to set up all of them, all of the generators, turn on all of the lights?
And it will help illuminate the cavern more. I think we should turn them on. I want to see. We have to be able to see.
Okay, great. Go ahead and everyone go ahead and make a luck roll.
Oh,
Oh. Wait, that wasn't.
So 14 out of 85.
Okay.
Fail.
Okay. The people who make a luck roll, you're kind of looking and getting all these floodlights set up, but you happen to look up and you see steadily moving towards you 6 exosuits clomping their way towards you. Clomp, 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 making their way from the standing stones where they were hidden closer and closer towards you.
Can we, if they have individuals in them, can we communicate with them?
You try to communicate with them.
Yep.
There's no
Identify
response.
yourselves. Are you
No
crew
response.
Nothing. All right. I want everyone on the ready with weapons. I don't know who these people are because they could not have survived this long here. If they're crew members or not. They're headed towards us.
Yep. They are headed towards you. They will be at your location in about 10 rounds. So
Okay.
roughly 10 minutes. They'll be at your location.
Can we get into 2 of our exo suits that we have?
Sure. Who's getting in the suits?
Mr. Pinero?
All right.
Someone else want to go?
Can I use operate heavy machinery to fight in this thing?
So you would be using 0G skill
okay.
to
Even better.
Pilot these things. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I will.
We can't use Can we use our plasma weapons while we're using them, or we occupied?
No, you would not be able to. I mean, you could bring it on with you. It would be kind of awkward, especially with like the rifle to use it in there. The power loaders are outfitted with obviously the claw of the power loader, and I'll put these in the chat here in a second. The power loader claw, there is a wrist laser, which has a range of a yard, and a flamethrower, and a chainsaw.
Oh my.
Wow.
All the serious killers.
I'll give the rifle to somebody else. Who wants a free rifle?
I'm thinking. Go ahead.
I'm going to situate myself in this position where I'm concealed, but I can still attack. So kind of towards the side, set up a crossfire if we need to.
Yes, I think that's a good idea, just to see what their intent is. We'll have the R2 power loaders will sort of be a defensive, so they can match whatever they try to protect the people who aren't in suits.
Nima, Newell, and Tanya come up to you. No, Captain, where do you need me? Where do you need us?
Why don't you I think you two should go back to the shuttle for now. Just wait in the shuttle.
And so they kind of look at you like, but Captain, we have guns. Like, we can help.
Is there a way I can? I think I need you in the shuttle. I need somebody to be able to get out of here if something goes wrong. We don't know what the situation is, but I need you to go now. Okay.
Okay. All right, Captain. They follow your
You guys
orders.
be ready.
Be
ready to act. Be ready to act from the shuttle. Thank you. I don't want to get them killed if I did something stupid. I'm getting them killed, so I'm just gonna. I want to try to get them so that they can. I'm not gonna lock out the shuttle or anything.
Well, I'll strap myself into one of the power loader suits.
All right. So Engineer Jan and Pilot Pinheiro, you two are in the power loaders. Okay, cool. All right. So what are you two doing in the power loaders? Because everyone else is kind of taking point. Right? Okay. All right.
I'm gonna give one more command on whatever channels we use. Like, stand down, do not move. Do not continue moving. Stand down. Just to see if that works.
Nope. You get no response.
All right. All right, so we're ready to.
Okay. All right.
We can't really tell if there's even people in them. Why can we?
That's true.
You really can't tell from this distance quite yet, but presumably from what you know about these suits, they need to have a pilot. So
they're the same vac suits we're wearing, right? Or are these the full on the power?
These are the full power loaders. Yeah, okay. These are the six missing power loaders from the.
The rest of us just have evac suits.
Yeah, the rest of you have EV suits. Yeah, so the power loaders have 8 points of armor. The EV suits have 4 points of armor. And I put in the plasma weaponry info in there as well. Okay, who has highest dex? We'll start with that.
40.
50.
55. I have a 55.
My dex is 75. On the low side, 45.
Okay. Navathi, you have 75. Bruno, what do you have?
40.
40. Okay. All right, Navathi, what are you doing first?
Captain, if you'd like, I can take a warning shot.
Make it so.
And I'll try to do like a warning shot on one of the power loaders' arms or something like that.
Okay. All right. Make a. You have the plasma pistol?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not very good at it, so it might be a warning shot anyway.
I don't think any of us are good.
I mean, that's a failure out of 47.
Okay. All right. So you take a shot at it, kind of glances it a little bit, but they inexorably are moving forward. Let's see. Someone's at 45 dex.
I'm gonna 55. I don't think
55 dex. Okay, go ahead, Doctor or Captain. What are you doing?
I'm gonna just try to the one that he took a warning shot at. I'm gonna try to hit it right in. I'm assuming there's like a face screen or something. I'm gonna aim for that and see if I can just get it right in the head and see what's going on with the plasma rifle. So let's see what I got here. Where's that? I can't remember what my thing is. Oh God, I suck at this too. That is a 95. So that is I had a 95 over 25. Is that that's not a critical failure, is it? Or is 96 a critical?
No, we'll say it was a miss though. Okay.
Okay.
All right. 45. Did someone have 45?
Me.
Okay, go ahead, Pinheiro. So you're in the suit.
So
They
I
are
see everybody miss. I'm actually going to charge towards them and try to hit them with a claw.
okay.
Guys, come on! All right, and I'll
All right, so
just
you're going to make a 0G roll.
a 0G. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to get to them. Yeah. All right.
Well, no. The 0G roll is going to be your brawl roll with the claw.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Am I holding the right dice? That's not the right dice. All right, there we go. Oh, six. Nope, 93.
93. Okay.
93 out of
All right.
75.
So you're
nope.
still getting kind of used to it. It doesn't quite land on the other power loader. As you're getting you're close enough now to kind of see. The power loader is there's damage to the visor port, so there's no like enclosure, so you could actually kind of see the face of the person in there. It is a essentially desiccated corpse that's just sort of lolling around in the suit. It appears to have some type of motor function, but it almost looks as if it's being like puppeted by something. It doesn't look like it's like in command of its faculties, and it's been exposed to the elements for months now.
Is it are these organized movements, or are they just moving?
They seem to be organized. It's slow, like it's sluggish, like so, but it is like purposeful. There is like a purposeful movement behind these. The movement
Purposeful as in coming towards us in the chasm.
Yes.
Our backs are to the chasm right now, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, they would be towards the chasm because they're coming to you from the standing stones.
All right. So for next, I got an idea for next round because I want to get
Okay.
them. Basically.
Does anyone else have a 45?
I've got a 50. But I'm hanging back until until I'm gonna let them come because I'm just trying to like defensively keep myself between everybody else. And then as soon as one of them comes up, they're catching a claw.
Okay.
Aim for the joints. Try to break the machine, not the...
So another thing that you know about these suits is that the computer is housed on the back of the power suit, and that is probably the weakest point on the suit.
Are there like hydraulic tubes that go between joints and things that you theoretically cut? And they would...
Yeah, I'll chime in
with like a precise movement. Yeah, you could probably hit one of those. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or get up close into it.
Once I get one of them entangled, shoot it in the rear. It's the critical systems are all quite exposed back there.
Good
plan. All right. Okay, shit.
And Pinheiro, since you're the closest to them, go ahead and make a sanity roll because you've now seen essentially a zombie.
Yep. I was wondering where that was going to come. Okay, I got an 8 out of my...
That's your sanity? Okay. Yeah, so you...
No. My sanity... Oh, well, that's the roll. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't lose any sanity for seeing it, but it's obviously upsetting.
Okay, I've seen worse in those 20th century vids.
All right. Zombie power loader number 3 is going to go ahead and raise his claw and come towards you, Pinheiro. Let me here. And what is... Okay. Ooh, he got a 99. So his claw actually, we'll just say this. His like ligaments in his like actual arm, the human arm, like you can see it actually like rupture off from the pressure of trying to raise up this mechanical arm. So his arm is actually detaching from the torso. So it's just kind of like hanging in midair and slowly kind of like headed down. There is another Dex 45. This one is going to keep kind of heading towards, we'll say this one's headed towards you, Engineer Jan. So it's just kind of slowly moving towards you in your direction. It hasn't made a move yet.
Okay.
So is it looking like those things are moving towards our big things?
Yeah. Generally, yeah. I mean, they probably haven't sighted you if you all are kind of like hiding behind something, or if you're kind of like somewhat hidden. It's probably going for the.
So what I'm gonna
for the big
try to
sight.
do then is circumnavigate them so that I can then
Yeah.
come up behind them
Sure.
and
Yeah, that's
tear out
we
some of
wanna-
those
Yeah,
hydraulics.
Okay.
and
Great.
that's what I was gonna
Crash.
suggest for next round. We boom.
Okay.
Yeah, from behind them.
So yeah, go ahead, Dr. Lopez. Go ahead and make a 0G roll.
Got a 48 out of 62. So
Cool.
regular.
So you're able to kind of get around one of these things, maybe the one that's like had its arm kind of like stuck. You're able to kind of maneuver your way around that and get to its like computer console in the back. I'll go ahead and let you make a roll. So it'll be a penalty die, but you can go ahead and make a 0G roll. So you're
Okay.
trying to like pierce it. Like what are you trying to like? Are you trying
I'm
to
trying
shoot
to
it?
there's got to be hydraulics, so I'm going to try to slice the hydraulics so that it
With
stops. Oh, I don't know, whatever. I'll try to cut it with my with my laser gun.
okay,
Shoot
all
through
right.
it at an angle so that
Okay,
it.
we'll do that. Go ahead. Go ahead. It'll be. Let's see. Make a 0G roll, and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay, I got 38 out of 62,
Okay, all right.
which is
So
still
you're able to
regular.
get like really up close to this thing, and kind of we'll say you fire off like a few shots.
Because I can jump up onto it. I only
Yeah,
weigh
yeah,
3
definitely.
pounds.
Mhm. Yeah,
You
definitely.
sure
Go
Lopez
ahead.
wasn't from the Marines?
Go ahead and make a damage roll then. So damage roll with the plasma pistol, 2d6 plus 1.
Oh,
Yeah, these things are pretty nasty.
3 and 5. So 8 plus 1,
Perfect.
9.
Great. You have disabled the suit, so that suit is helpless now. Yeah, if these things take 8 points or more of damage to that computer console, they're rendered disabled.
I'll then shove off of it and try to work my way around to get to another one, but that'll take a couple of rounds.
Yep. So Dr. Bruno, you're up next.
Not with the same sportsmanship. I'm going to follow Dr. Lopez's example. See that they are following our bigger comrades. I'm getting behind one. I mean, sneaking not close to it, and I'm trying to shoot it with my plasma pistol in the back.
Okay. So you're following the same lead. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and let's make 2 0G rolls. One to kind of maneuver your way around this thing, and then another one to get up close to it and kind of jump up on it.
One of them is going to be an 88, which will fail.
All right. So yeah, since you failed the first one, you're not really able to navigate around it. You're still kind of getting used to the clunkiness of your EV suit, but you're kind of positioning yourself and kind of hopping around to get to that position. However, one of the power loaders does notice you and is going to try to attack you with its power claw. And fail at that. So luckily you are okay, but it is in your sights, or you are in its sights now, and it is going to be kind of coming after you. All right, so we've done 3 of those. Okay, so I'm going to do the 3 other ones. One of them is going to come after you, Captain Tamaya, with the Power Claw. And that is a 70, so they fail at that. It's again just really, really clunky movements. It's a zombie trying to operate one of these things. And again, it seems like it's being controlled by something else. It doesn't appear to be working of its own volition. So you can tell like there's like a lot of thinking that's sort of happening, and maybe there isn't so much coordination between these power suits. We'll do this one. That is a 61. That one fails as well. And then the third one, that one does hit. So this one is going to be going after you, Rajendra Navathi. So it does get up close to you and pushes down its power loader arm. Go ahead and make a dodge roll. Since you are in an EV suit and not in a power loader, power loaders cannot dodge.
That is a failure at a 56 over 37.
Okay, all right. So let's see here. We have. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's not great. So you do have 4 points of armor from your EV, but this thing just did 12 points of damage on you. Yeah.
Okay.
With its power loader arm. Yeah. So go ahead and make a 0G roll to determine if you can make some repairs to your EV suit.
That one is a 14.
Okay, cool. So you did take considerable amount of damage, and you're very injured. But quick thinking, you're able to patch up any leaks in there, but you are damaged.
Oh, Captain. Oh, he hit me pretty good.
Retreat. I want you to try to, if you can move, I want you to try to retreat to the shuttle.
And at that point, you hear Tanya come on board. Captain, we can come out and help. They're kind of watching from the.
Would I have like other plasma rifles? So I think I would on the Persis, because I had given them plasma. I'm gonna tell them to bring the plasma rifles. I'm gonna.
Yes, Captain.
Yes,
Captain. And they're going to come out. Newell's going to help you into the Persis, Navathi, so that you can be kind of settled in, and then they're going to kind of post up as well and start blasting these things with you.
I'm going to holler, try to get around the back, take out the electronics.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, so we will start the round from the top. Okay, Navathi, I think you had the highest dex, but you're chilling out in the Persis, bandaging yourself up. There is a med lab first aid unit there, so if you want to apply some first aid to yourself, you don't need to roll on it. Just give yourself some hit points back. We'll say we have one of those like cool automated things like in Prometheus to help you out. Okay, and then Captain, you're up next.
I'm gonna the one that tried to attack me. I'm gonna try to move around, navigate around, kind of like Dr. Lopez did, navigate around and take a shot at the back. That was a 0G first to do that.
Yeah, do a 0G to navigate around it, and then another one to hop on it and get close enough to
That's
zap
a 48 under 63 0G, so I'm around it.
Okay.
All right. That is a 64. That is a fail.
Okay, okay. So we'll say you get up to it and you're kind of holding on for dear life, but this one seems to be a little bit more in control and is trying like actively to wiggle you off of it. So you haven't gotten like a really good hold on it quite yet. Let's go to you, Jan.
Uh, well, I guess with it, have any of them kind of approached the group at all? I guess everybody's kind of all split up. Um, in that case, then I'm just kind of making my way towards um one of the ones that kind of hasn't been engaged yet. I don't know, maybe the one that like nailed Raj and just tried to like um kind of push that one like onto its push it like front side down and try to hold it if I can
Okay.
with the claw. And that is a one. A critical.
Nice. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. So yeah, you grab it like Ripley and Aliens, get away from her, you bitch. And you're trying to like toss it down, like kind of like get it off of its feet, essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say you do that. Go ahead and roll damage. So 1d6 plus 6 plus damage bonus.
Oh, is it only plus my damage bonus? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if the power loaders themselves have a damage bonus.
They've got a size and a strength.
Yes.
Well, if it's just mine, I mean, well, I guess since it's a crit, right? It's just max, so
hmm
so that'd be 12.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
it's just my damage bonus, otherwise it's a ton
Well,
because that thing has a
yeah,
4
no,
46 strength.
you kick the shit out of this thing. It is down for the count. It's not getting up anytime soon. Put it that way. Okay. Awesome. Let's go to Pinheiro and the other power loader.
Okay. So I see the engineer taking care of the other one, but I'm seeing the other one going after Captain. I'm actually going to go head towards the one attacking the Captain, and I can't use the flamethrower, right?
You might risk hurting the captain.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to use the chainsaw.
Okay.
I got to use it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They wouldn't
Sure.
put them on there if they didn't.
Hey, we're on the last session, and we're 10 minutes
So
into
do
10.
zero. Yeah, do 0G.
All right, here we go. Oh, 84.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
no.
unfortunately, the chainsaw you basically just kind of hit it at like a hard point of the exosuit, and it deflects off. And but you've got its attention now, so it's going to go ahead and try to hit you with its power claw. And it is going to miss, so you are safe, but it is now trying to reel its way around to you. Okay, so
Captain, hit it in the back. Hit it in the back.
so two of the power suits are out. One of them is currently engaged with Pinheiro. Dr. Lopez.
I will continue as I was. I will try to get up behind one of them and wreck the hydraulics. Maybe there's a better vantage point. I don't have to jump up onto it. But if there isn't, then I will jump up onto it and just fire the gun into the control center.
Okay. Go ahead
Do I
and
roll
zero
again?
G.
0G. 69. What is 69? I got 62. I got 69 out of 62. Can I spend luck?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll spend luck to pass.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. We'll say that you're getting used to it by now, and you're able to connect with that unit. And
Once you know how to stop one, it's fairly
yeah.
easy.
Yep. Okay. So you'll take that one out. So that one is disabled as well. Let's add some fun into this. Let's try. Okay. 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 No, nothing happens there. Okay. All righty. Dr. Bruno, what are you doing?
Well, I got one that is trying to get to me, so I want to. I mean, this probably is going to be stupid, but I don't know. I want to get behind it, so I think between its legs would be the best way, sliding between its legs, essentially, to get behind it.
Fancy.
Okay.
Make a 0G roll, please.
Yes, sir. Coming right up.
I think they've got rivets, not nuts.
Ah,
The nut shot.
That's an 86. I'm rolling horrible today.
okay. Yeah. So you do not get around this thing, and it's going to go ahead and try to flamethrower you actually, as it sees you kind of sliding towards you. Let's see. No, it's just sort of kind of flailing around the flamethrower in a haphazard way. Seems like it really hasn't gotten used to the controls. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably take 1 sanity damage at this point.
I think we're gonna take sanity damage for just an embarrassment. Like we're just failing a land.
So at this point, at this point, Tanya and Newell are also in the fray. Tanya seems to be kind of like looking at the chasm and saying, "Captain, do you think maybe we should get into the chasm? Maybe we can regroup in there."
Is there like a way down? Is there like some kind of scaffolding or something?
Yeah, so there's a winch and a cable that is descended into the chasm. Yeah.
But they wouldn't be able to follow us down in the suits. But I've got 2 people in suits, so I don't want to abandon them.
Right.
She really wants to get in that chasm, doesn't she?
Newell's like, yeah, that might not be a terrible idea. Maybe we can get in there and find a better vantage point.
They wouldn't be able to follow us down in suits. And then we could just enter the chasm. We'd have to deal with them on the way out, of course, but we might have a better plan. We'll come up with a better plan. So it would be I don't want I'm gonna order them down with Dr. Navathe join them if he's feeling up to it. If Hunter's feeling up to it.
I'm feeling great. I got drugs in me now.
That's good, yeah. I'm also I've got Ernst and my pilot in the and Mr. Pinheiro in the suits. I've got Dr. Bruno, who was almost just flamethrowered. I'm gonna send her down as well with Navathe. I'm gonna send them down with the 2 scientists. Plus, they'll be good at keeping an eye on them. And then we will continue to try to deactivate these last ones now that we know the secret of how to deactivate them. Hopefully, I will be able to hit the side of a barn, because that's basically what they are. So yeah, I'm going to order them down to retreat down the chasm, and then the power suit And I, in my EV suit, will continue sort of like like kind of like a wrestling tag team. Like get them distracted, get their back to me, and boom, I'll shoot it. I'll shoot it out with the plasma rifle.
Okay,
Don't be
sounds
afraid to
good.
use those chainsaws, boys.
Yeah.
Girls.
All right, let's take a quick bio break real quick, and then we will reconvene with that.
5 minutes later.
Well, okay, so
Lights
okay, Navathi, Bruno, and then you ordered Newell and Tanya to go to the chasm. Is anyone else going down into the chasm?
As we all can hear the radio, yeah, I think that we're all quickly. If I take out one more of these things before
You're kind of kicking ass over there, Dr. Lopez, taking these things out. So
I can't at the side of a barn tonight.
okay. Go ahead. Lopez, Tamayo, Jan, and Pinheiro, go ahead and make a luck roll, please.
5.
Okay.
Oh, luck roll. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a little bit sleepy.
43, I think it's a pass.
69.
Okay.
No. Wait, how much luck do I have?
50.
Can I spend some of that luck? Oh, wait, no, this is a luck roll. My apologies.
And Jan, did you?
Yeah, 14 out of 45.
Okay. So each of you individually notices as you're kind of like in between fighting off these zombie power loaders, you notice in the direction that the power loaders came from, you notice like almost like it's a red kind of flashing, but it's different than the red of the that's coming off the stones. It almost looks like maybe like a pair of eyes or some type of and it's kind of moving very, very slowly, sort of like swaying almost.
Do you see that?
What the hell? What is that?
It is a later problem. We have not dispatched the rest of the things that are threatening our lives.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Navathi and Bruno. So you make your way to the chasm and you notice that the cable is down in the chasm. Go ahead. Do either of you have electrical repair?
I do.
Great. Go ahead and make a roll for electrical repair so that you can turn on the winch. It looks like it's been bashed or damaged.
That's a good success. It's 18 under 25.
Cool. The damage doesn't seem to be too severe, and you're able to fix it with what tools you have kind of just dangling off of your EV suit. So you're able to repair the winch and bring it up, and there is a cradle attached to the winch. And there's enough to fit the 4 of you on there.
Okay.
Get onto the cradle.
Okay. All right. And then you all are going down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to combat. So I believe now we'll go with Captain Tamayo. What are you doing? Got I believe 3 more of these.
3 more. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one that Pinheiro is engaged with, I'm sort of behind it still. I'm already there. Do I have to do the 0G or?
Yeah, make a 0G roll so that you can try to deactivate the console.
Okay. That is a 12. That is
great.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're able to deactivate it. The thing is disabled. It's not going anywhere.
Okay. 2 left.
All right. Jan, we'll go with you. Oh, you're muted.
2 left, you said? So, yeah, one of the 2. I'm going to try to charge it down.
Okay.
34 out of, I think, 60 0G, so.
Sweet. All right. So you're hitting it with the power claw. All right, nice. All right, go ahead and roll your damage. So yeah, it is the power loader damage, and then the damage bonus is plus 2d6. And then whatever, if you have personal damage bonus, you can add that too.
Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 6, so 15.
Cool. Yeah. So this thing has 8 points of armor on it. So you get like a really good hold on it, and you're just sort of like crunching up the armor so that the hydraulics and everything are kind of caving in on itself. Um, this thing has 8 points. So how much total damage did you do?
15 total.
15 total. Okay. Let me see. I think that's going to probably put it out of commission. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, we'll say this thing is out of commission. Like it can still walk, but the arm pieces are useless, so it can't really do anything. It's essentially disabled at this point. Okay. Took that out. Pinheiro, we'll go with you next. So the one that you've been interacting with is out of commission. So we've got one left.
All right, so I'm gonna be charging at that one, and I'm gonna use this. You okay there, Captain? You were like jumping around a bit.
Yeah, I'm all right. I want to get out of here.
I'm at out of character.
Out of character. Sorry. So in character, I'm out of character. In character, I'm all right. We're taking care of this.
Okay.
All right.
43 out of my 57, I think.
Okay,
Yep.
Cool. Cool. Go ahead and roll your damage for the power loader. That is going to be 1d6 plus 6 plus 2d6. And then if you have any personal damage bonus, you can add that too.
All right. How the hell I'm going to roll it? 1d6 plus 6 plus 1?
Plus 2 more d6. Yeah. So I guess you could have done 3d6.
3 of them?
Go ahead and roll 2 more d6.
Okay. So 1d6. That'd be 3.
Okay.
And then roll 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay, both of them are 5.
Right.
So that'd be 10.
Okay. And then add 6.
And then add 6. That would be 19.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you dispatch this thing. Yeah, you're no match for it. Yeah, so it's nice and crunched up.
Finally, I hit something.
Yes. Woohoo! Victory. Let's see.
Way to go with the backhand, Mr. Pinheiro.
Thank you, Captain.
Weird. I don't want to find out what that thing is on the horizon there. Those two things. Let's get down with the others down into the crypt. Let's get out of here.
All right.
The suits. Let's go down into the chasm. I'm sorry. It's very cold in my house right now. I'm just gonna run and up the heat.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you were dancing around like what the heck?
It's almost as cold as Salo's glory in here.
So let's go to the crew that is in the first cradle down. You make your way down to the bottom of the chasm. It is completely dark down here. It is completely dark, so you have to rely on your helmet lamps. From what you can tell as you're kind of getting your bearings, the floor and ceiling are incredibly smooth. There's very little debris on the floor. You soon discover that you are not alone in this darkness. And what you kind of notice here is, oh my God, there's more there's more of those things. Dr. Bruno, you know this. Navathi actually hasn't seen one of these things, but as you flash your camera or you flash your headlamp around, you see several, maybe dozens of these purple barrels.
Are they moving?
Go ahead and make a sanity roll, please.
Absolutely.
Below 3.
Okay.
I
I
passed.
go up and shake their hands.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay. All right. So Navathi and Bruno, you both passed it. Go ahead and lose 1 sanity, though.
Oof.
What you are seeing appears to be a graveyard. These things, excuse me, not elder things. You don't know how old they are. These things have outstretched wings and are floating in the zero chi, low gravity. They appear to be completely still except for their floating appendages. But as you're kind of flashing around the headlamps, and Newell is freaking out at this point. She is completely upset and is hyperventilating, and her headlamp is moving around everywhere. So you see shadows kind of moving throughout this cavern space, and it becomes extremely disorienting, and she's hyperventilating and almost screaming into her unit. Get me out of here! Oh my God, what are these things? What are these things? Go ahead and make a luck roll, both of you.
I'm going to ask about our other friend.
Tanya's not making any noises at all.
Oh,
She
that's
appears
sneaky.
actually to be quite steady.
I'm good on luck.
Nope. Okay.
Yep.
So Navathi, Bruno, you're kind of busy sort of consoling Newell, who seems to be
I'm going to them.
panic attack at this point. Navathi, you notice one of these things off a little ways from you actually has a glow in its eyes. Unlike the other ones don't seem to have this glow in what appears to be their eyes. You don't really seem to know what these things are exactly. Just as you are kind of coming to this realization that, oh, maybe that one's actually alive, you start to see some other shuffling happening in the cavern. And at first you can't really tell if it's just shadows moving, but for sure there's something else moving towards you. And you see shambling towards you someone apparently in an EV suit. It's tattered and damaged, appears to have been ripped to shreds in a lot of places, but it's coming right towards you, Navathi, and its arms are outstretched.
We're taking a shot at the legs.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Do I need to do a 0G or for my plasma?
If you're
pistol?
shooting at it, it does need to be a plasma roll. Yeah, weapons roll.
That is an 83.
Okay. So yeah, it's a disorienting kind of environment. And so you do miss it. You actually hit something else in this space, which is interesting that you haven't really even noticed because of all the horrible things here. But you notice these large, almost crystalline structures in this cavern that are, maybe 10 feet tall. And when you hit it with the plasma pistol, it gets extremely bright and it illuminates this cavern for a brief moment, and then it recedes again. And you can see, again, just the whole space is just, there's, maybe a dozen of these barrel-shaped things. And you see as the flash comes up, there's probably you're pretty sure it's 5 of these shambling EV suits are headed towards you, and you
Get back
and
in the cradle. Get back in the cradle. We have to get back topside.
At that moment, Tanya turns to you and says, "It's so much better with them." And she takes out her pistol and aims it at Newell's head.
Oh,
And,
what are you doing?
She succeeds and blasts Newell's head off in front of you. Please make a sanity roll.
I think we were all waiting for that. So
Someone was going to bow to Terran's dagger.
I definitely failed that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and do 1d4 for seeing someone like splattered in front of you.
Yeah.
We were going to come down after them. Can we hear that this is going on through the evening?
Yeah. You can start to hear, and it's in the comm unit as well. Yeah.
What the hell? What's going on down there?
Can I tackle her?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a 0G roll.
Okay.
Pinheiro, I think it is time to turn around.
I got a 66 out of 57.
66 out of, okay. All right. So yeah, she's able to kind of skirt away from you at this point, and she kind of recedes into the cavern. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to grab my friend and get going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as you two are trying to get the winch working, one of these undead old crew members from the Trifina attempts to grapple you and fails. Yeah, they are rolling really shitty tonight. So yeah, they are not. They kind of grab onto the cradle part. But seems like they're almost like stuck. Like there's just not like a lot of coordination with their body.
I'm gonna go ahead.
We're topside of the crib. We haven't gone down yet, right?
No.
So I'm gonna order. Let's get out of there. Get out of there now. To come back up rather than us go down, and we'll face whatever's up here, I guess.
Okay. All right. So you guys are headed up. All right. Yeah, we'll say one of these zombies is still attached to the cradle and is just holding on to the cradle. Okay. You're trying to attack it off or stop?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a brawl or a 0G roll. See if you can smash it.
No, it's too. It's not reacting to the pain. It's just.
Okay.
It's like I'm hitting rocks.
Bruno, what are you doing?
I want to cut its hands off with the blast. What should I roll for that?
Yeah, let's say. So you're using like the plasma pistol then to try and,
to make
let's say you have like a little like laser, like a scalpel or like to take samples off with. Let's say that you're using that. Let's make like a dexterity roll. How about that?
A dexterity, okay. And that's a 25 out of my 40. I can spend 5 luck to make it hard if it makes any difference.
No, let's say you're able to just almost like with like you're almost like chilled to the bone at this point. So with like almost like a cold calculation, you're just like soldering, cutting off its fingers one by one. It doesn't have too many fingers left, anyways. It appears.
Yeah.
Like most of them.
Whispering constantly. You are not real. This is
the corpse.
It's not real. This is not real. This is not.
The corpse falls off of the cradle and lands with a thump below. Well, it actually wouldn't because of no gravity, so it's just sort of floating gently down.
Yeah.
Floats gently down. Okay. So you bring the winch back up, the cradle back up. What do y'all do now?
We should have never come here.
We need to get back to the Persis and get out of here. We've lost Dr. Newell. I do not care a damn about Tanya. We're going to leave her where she wants to be. We need to get back to the shuttle to the Persis and get off this planet.
GTFO. We should have got the idea after.
Keeper,
after those
I-
loaders, Damon.
can I do what Hosel did? Can I lock out my Trifina? Because I still don't trust her husband. And I don't want it going anywhere till we get back. Is there a way I can do that to lock it out with my remotely?
Sure.
Would I have to do it
Yeah.
from the shuttle or could I do
You'd have
it?
to do that from the Persis. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the Persis and then I'm gonna lock it out till we return because I don't want to take him out.
I'll mention to the captain what I saw, the big barrel shaped things, that there was dead bodies walking like with the loaders, and there was maybe something with eyes glowing.
We said there's something in the distance, right? When we're on top that's coming towards us, the big guys. So we want to outrun that thing and just get to
Well,
our
it's actually not moving. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not really moving towards you, but it appears that there's something out there in the stone circle.
Is it
Yeah.
does it appear humongous or is it just like the size of
It's probably from this distance, it looks about the size of like a human. Yeah, about like 6 to 8 feet.
I'm not interested in meeting them. Let's get to the Persis, get back to the Trifina, which I will lock out so it can't take off or leave the atmosphere until we get back. And then we'll just regroup from there. I don't think there's anything we can do here. There's nothing other than our reports that we can give of what's down there. But my priority is to the crew and getting them safely out of here. We haven't lost any of us yet, and I think we should abandon mission and head back to the ship. Regroup.
Let's see.
Yeah, what's the worst they can do to
Dr.
us?
Lopez, can you make a power roll for me, please?
I'll roll 56 out of. I've only got 35 POW.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I could spend luck, but I think I'd like to see what happens when my.
So we're gonna end our adventure here. Dr. Lopez, you start to hear as you all are getting into the Persis, you start to become really sleepy and almost dreamy, and it's like a really nice feeling. It's a really euphoric feeling, and you start to hear these really lovely melodic voices in your mind. They're so beautiful. They only want what is best for you, for the Trifina. They have so much to offer you, so much knowledge about the universe, so much knowledge that you could only dream of. And all you need to do is bring them up to the Trifina. That's all they need you to do. And then they will give you all the secrets that you want. They really love you and they love humanity. You just have to get them up to the ship. And likely the others won't understand it. But don't worry, they'll take care of it. You just have to get them up to the ship.
No.
That's the end.
You know, Captain, I'd really like some of those samples.
Oh no.
They're harmless.
Lopez, why are you acting so weird?
Oh my!
I'm always weird.
They're weirder than normal.
Oh my! That was amazing.
That was awesome.
I'm off in reverie, making friends with the elder things, and I know where you came from, and where you came from, and those are our progenitors.
Yes. Yeah. You know our secrets. We just want to share them with you. You're our children.
So, okay, so why were they both called Trifina?
So here, there's no explanation in the book for this, but my explanation is that they did not want any kind of this was done under like complete secrecy and cloak and dagger. I think someone said this earlier. Like the initial expedition was done under complete secrecy, and there's lots of corporate intrigue going on within Galley Industries. So there's lots of different competing interests and sponsors that have very different kind of perspectives on what they want to get out of deep space exploration. Mm-hmm. And so one of these entities, one of these groups, and again, this is just my kind of speculation on it, is like are like zealots, like they're corporate zealots in a way. So they have like this like evangelizing kind of mission. And they wanted to make sure that there was like not as many paper trails, so that they could just sort of, if there was references to a Trifina, they could just say, oh, it was the one Trifina that we sent out, right? So they didn't want any type of like additional like questions as to like how much money were you spending on this and how many sponsors did you send out and that sort of thing. So it'd just be like, oh, it was just the one ship that we sent out, right?
So instead of two sets of books, there was just two Trifinas.
Yeah. And at this point, like money is no object. So they can really just, and again, there's sponsors who are just like, what they've discovered from investigating the inner planets is like riches and riches and riches beyond description. So there's lots of money to be made in exploration, and you have lots of scientists who are more than happy to swear their lives to secrecy to explore space and potentially be part of these huge discoveries. So all of you had kind of like signed away your lives in order to go on this exploration, and that's why the Captain Holzel had kind of fallen off the face of the earth in the past few years. You hadn't really heard from him at all.
I'll admit I was kind of waiting for some sort of time warp gate thing that had
not in this case, because again, like your trajectory had been set like specifically now to go to Salo's glory. By Salo's glory. Yeah.
As soon as we found the loaders, like I was like, okay, it's not our ship.
I did think too that
for me, it's not being named the shuttle having a different name was good.
I thought no. It reminded me a little bit of the line from Contact when their gigantic $1 trillion project explodes, and then the rich guy contacts her and says, well, why build one when you could build two? It's like, yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, and obviously, the Elder Things, I've been sending out a distress signal for centuries to no avail.
So they were kind of stuck there waiting for their buddies to
They
come
were
back
stuck.
to Earth.
Most of them had died, in that environment. Some of them had gone into like almost like a mummified state, which is the 3 that were on the planet. One of them was killed when Holzel crashed the Gila. The 2 other ones kind of went back into like a stasis state. Yeah. And then, discovered that there were some more mines. And so they decided to be a little bit more subtle this time around, rather than with the previous pilot. They basically drove him insane, like immediately. They did get in Holzel's mind, but he still had enough grasp on reality to foil their plan. But they went a little hard on the mind control with the pilot, and so he went completely insane and murdered everyone, which then left them stranded there on the Planetoid.
That's awesome. I honestly thought that there was a alien necromancer. I thought the Migos were involved or something, like to some. I thought they were external. Like I thought the Elder Things were victims, just like the humans, because some of them were reanimated as well in the chest. So I honestly thought it was a third party other than the Elder Things involved.
In this scenario, it's just the 2 that are still alive. There's one on the stone circle side and then one in the chasm. The first one was able to get winched up when the first team went down. and then the other one was still down there. They're immobile, so they need someone to
Right.
move them around. Essentially, yeah, they've kind of like atrophied over the
Yeah.
century. So
Oh,
they need someone to move them essentially.
Let's
So they
go
want to
ahead
take
and
the
finish up.
Trifina and then go investigate see if there's any other
Sure.
outposts in the area. Essentially, yeah.
All right.
that was
Awesome.
Our players included Ian Knighton, Joe Bardalis, Victor Grau, Luke Strom, Grady Williams, and myself with Troy Weeldreyer as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.